Pulse 95. Between local lines, notes from the Emirate.
Well, the local emergency crisis and disaster management team here in the Emirate of Sharjah, in cooperation with the Sharjah Private Education Authority, they've announced that students of private schools here in the Emirate of Sharjah will return to their schools starting next Sunday, corresponding 11th of April for foreign and Asian curriculum schools, and 4th or April 18th, in fact, for the ministerial curriculum schools through the direct or hybrid or distance learning system. And this comes according to the choice of the student's parent. Students must obtain a negative test result before their return to school within a period not exceeding 72 hours from the date of examination.
That's right. And the Sharjah Private Education Authority pretty much saying that students and their parents have the freedom and flexibility to pick between three education modes, whether you want to go to in-person classes or you want to do distance learning, or a hybrid between the two as well. A top official from the Sharjah Private Education Authority has also said that strict COVID safety measures have been implemented in schools. So now we're gearing up to the return of schools. This comes at the end of spring break, and schools will start just a couple of days before the holy month of Ramadan begins. And in light of that, in fact, authorities had announced that the school hours during the holy month of Ramadan are going to be between 3 to 5 hours as well.
Yep. So what's happened now is that all state schools and private schools and nurseries in Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah and Al Quwain have been asked to resume distance learning as well. That was during the start of the rise in COVID-19 cases. That was in mid-February when they were asked to do that. But now students will be able to return to school after receiving a negative PCR test result. How is that going to impact you? The cost of getting it done, and to what extent is it going to be required on a regular basis? That's also going to be another question that a lot of parents will have. And I'm sure schools will be issuing some guidelines on how regularly the children will need to be producing that negative test result. But we have been in touch with the Sharjah Private Education Authority, and we'll continue to get some more thoughts from them about this, and to share with our listeners this morning as well. SPEA has instructed all private educational institutions to reduce the number of hours of the school day and limit them to only between 3 to 5 hours only, enable students to continue the virtual and direct education. It is worth noting that the guideline distributed by SPEA to all private schools is considered a roadmap for schools and students to reach a healthy and safer environment for the students, their families, administrative and functional staff as well. And there's going to be precautionary measures such as the mandatory laboratory examinations of functional cadre and the sterilization of school classes and the various tools used in them. The authority will carry out regular inspection visits as well.
What's great as well is the sheer number of school staff members that have been vaccinated. According to the SPEA, 74% of school employees in Sharjah have received the first dose of the COVID vaccine, while 64% have received both. So it's safer than ever now to return to schools.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for the roads, because it's going to get busy in the mornings from Sunday onwards. But of course, with the Ramadan timings playing their part, it's going to be, hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed the roads remain light and are great to be commuting. But so far this morning, it still is relatively busy, but the delays have subsided. It was initially 40-minute delays on the roads, but it's now a 27-minute delay along the E311. Such a very, very busy start for today. But Do keep us posted. Do share with us your thoughts and opinions on the matter of schools reopening and how excited you might be for your children to go back to school. And if you're one of the school students, how excited are you to return back to your classrooms and to reconnect with your fellow classmates and schoolmates? Get involved with us on those text lines 4215. The Majlis shall return right after some more musical entertainment, and there's the weekend blinding lights to look forward to, and we'll continue the discussions here on the program.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Well, the UAE has signed a $3 billion deal to invest in Iraq in an initiative which aims to basically solidify economic and investment ties, tap fresh prospects of cooperation, and also spur developmental and socioeconomic growth in the country of Iraq. Now, this announcement was made following the visit to the country by Mustafa al-Kadhimi, the Prime Minister of Iraq, who met with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, and also His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. Now, the report said that the new investments are aimed to tap new prospects of partnerships between the two countries, and also accelerating socioeconomic and developmental growth in support of the people of Iraq. And the two sides did agree to grow economic cooperation, also accelerate trade and investment exchanges as well. And they also agreed on establishing the Iraqi UAE Business Council, and that is to streamline all the measures in the service of the two nations and their people. And Mustafa al-Kadhimi has a lot to say now.
Yeah, he did. During his recent visit to the United Arab Emirates and speaking to media, the Prime Minister of Iraq said the UAE is a land of success and expressed his appreciation for its honorable stances towards Iraq and its people. Al-Kadhimi said that the UAE has stood with Iraq in its war against extremism. He said the UAE participated in Iraq's reconstruction. He also praised the UAE's pioneering initiatives to rebuild the historic Great Mosque of An-Nuri in Mosul. Al-Kadhimi also went on to praise the stances of the founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, towards Iraq and his keenness to preserve the country's security, stability, and prosperity of its people.
Yeah, this all comes off the back of the $3 billion investment in Iraq announced by the United Arab Emirates that will fund an initiative to strengthen economic and investment relations, create new opportunities for cooperation, and advance economic, social, and developmental growth in support of the Iraqi people. But yesterday itself, a very prominent video was shared right after that visit and the meeting between the Iraqi Prime Minister and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. And this is what all went down. Let's see if we can play it.
سعيد جدا بلقائك أخ عزيز، شرفتنا في بعد معرفتنا صار لها مدة وبنينا عليها ثقة بناء على مواقف مختلفة. اليوم نحن نرى العراق يمر بمرحلة تحدي، ولكن ثقتنا بالله وتربي عليه الشيخ زايد بن سلطان، والعلاقة من ذاك اليوم بدأت تقوى، وأكد على هذا الجسر سيدي سمو الشيخ خليفة بن زايد حفظ الله. في النهاية أريد
Definitely, yeah. Those public expressions and sentiments about the value of Iraq are not only important political messages, but they do speak directly to Iraqis who are proud of their past and but concerned about the present and also the future. And that present and future can be put on a better trajectory with good leadership and economic growth. And also other remarks, beautiful remarks that were said by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid as well. He tweeted about historic relations with Iraq and the role of its ancient civilization, saying that after their meeting, he said, Iraq is not like other countries. It is the dawn of human civilization. In the beginning, there was Iraq. Then there was civilization. And as for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, he said that our relationship is based on trust and a number of positions upon receiving Al-Kadhimi, importantly, his statement of welcome was, as we just heard, was aired publicly, and it did give Al-Kadhimi and all Iraqis a public boost.
A massive morale boost as well. But apart from that, another big development that emerged after this meeting is the connection with Iraqi Airlines.
That's right.
That's the big news that emerged.
Now, Iraqi Airlines, they announced that they will have direct flights to Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
I believe they have more direct flights now.
Yeah, and the announcement came ahead of Al-Kadhimi's visit as well. We also should mention the fact that the investments that the United Arab Emirates is making follows ones made by Saudi Arabia last week, where Riyadh said it would increase investments in Iraq by 5-fold to $2.67 billion as well. So that's pretty major news, and we look forward to covering Iraq's development in light of these headlines.
How about we invest to make a morning Majlis show from Iraq?
Let's do it.
Sounds like an idea. Let's fly over to Baghdad and then do it. Why not? But yes, so do stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll let you prepare. Well, we shall prepare for the news headlines. We'll let you soak in the musical entertainment we have to offer on our station. We'll be back right after the news headlines. We'll shift our focus internationally as well. But the big news we'll focus on to start off with is the schools. Schools in Sharjah will be going back to hybrid learning. There will be in-contact school learning. And the children above the age of 12 will require a COVID-19 test. Let us know how you as parents, you as students who might be tuning in this morning, get involved on the text lines 4215 to share your thoughts and sentiments about how you feel about going back to school and how excited you might be of being back in the classrooms. All of this will be discussed right here on the Morning Majlis.
Pulse 95. Between local lines, notes from the Emirate.
The hub for culture and traditions has turned slightly spooky. And it's also where we want to send Rania Saadi from our Morning Majlis team to check it out and hopefully brave the shrieks of terror that might be thrown at you. You want to go?
I do.
Okay.
I walked past it, but the line was really long. It's actually one of the coolest and scariest activities at the 18th edition of the Sharjah Heritage Days. It's the haunted house there. It's letting visitors take a tour of a spooky traditional palm frond house inhabited with ghosts and also spirits from the old myths and folklore of the UAE. So I don't know how the experience would be, though.
Are the ghosts played by actors?
Yes.
No, they're real ghosts.
That's
That's been told. You're here just before Ramadan and then you can leave. It's actually cool, isn't it? Now, I remember the days when we used to go into these haunted houses. One known as the Haunted Palace in Ras Al Khaimah, which has now become a tourist attraction. It's not really haunted, it's just the vibes of the abandoned palace.
But they said there is a haunted place in Sharjah, a real haunted one.
Oh, yes.
They do say that.
Where was
yes.
it?
In Jazat? No, in Jazat neighborhood?
It's in... I don't know. It's in the desert, I think, right?
Oh.
Somewhere in the desert?
Oh, no. That is not.
No?
That's not the haunted village. It's the abandoned village in Al Madam. Yes.
In Al Madam. Yeah.
It's not. It's not haunted. It's a village that's what used to be home to the Al Qutbi tribe and back in the days, and then because of the way the sand dunes.
But I heard
moved.
so many stories about it that it's actually haunted.
You'll always hear these stories. Yeah.
People make it. I've been there. I met a ghost called Rania.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did the ghost say anything?
It spoke a lot. I said that she wants to be on the Morning Majlis.
Wow.
Wow. Well, so she wants to be taking over Rania Saadi, and I said, okay, well, we'll send her to the Haunted House and the Heritage Days, and that's where you can meet her. But
looking through the experience, well, they're saying that visitors can enter the house through a black curtained doorway and they can step into the narrow and winding corridors. There's no turning back, obviously.
Oh, no.
And you come face to face with demonic creatures and corpses and all of that. except that you don't know when exactly you're going to encounter them. That is the scary part, adding to the blood-curdling suspense that is behind it all. So I think it's gonna be a good experience. I should go and do a coverage.
Yeah, why not? I think we should definitely send you it because
A vlog. Let's do a vlog.
Because
Yeah.
on Pulse 95 Radio Instagram handle, we've done a poll. We've put up saying, should we send Rania to that haunted house? And 100% of the voters, even the sample size is quite small at this hour. It's going to get bigger. Have said 100% have said that we should send you. So that's going to be exciting. But have you gone to any famous or any haunted house type of an excursion here in the country?
Not in the country, outside.
I've been to a couple of the, like those trains that take you through a little...
The 10 dirham train.
Those cavernous horror experiences. I did those as a child. They're pretty fun. But I haven't been to the ones where you go to these... Now they've gotten so sophisticated, these attractions. They got actors, props, darkness engulfing you. There's even an attraction where you get chased by ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pitch black, and you're running around this place. It's pretty absurd, and you got to find clues and puzzles. So they're getting more sophisticated.
Yeah, remember when we talked about the Japanese... in Tokyo, there's this drive-in. The drive-in haunted experience.
Yeah.
Zombie
That is
apocalypse
something
type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is something that I want to experience so bad.
It's a zombie car wash, apparently.
Well, they will put like fake blood on your car and all of that, and then they will wash it for you after giving you a really good show, like a haunted house drive-in show. You'll be in your car, and they'll be like all over your car, and like
It's a good way to get your car washed.
Yeah,
Like, I just go there.
A lot of fun.
One tip is don't take your car if it's been wrapped, because then that paper is going to be damaged by that paint. So that's going to be quite horrible. But shout out to all the oldies in the United Arab Emirates who've been here for a very long time, and especially those who've grown up. Wafi Centre used to have what we know called the chamber, and that's where you had to go through the experience, and then at the end you were chased by a man running with a chainsaw behind you, and then it literally looked like a real chainsaw, and you had to run and save yourself. And there was also, then it got renamed Tomb, and then we've also got a few more excursions that have popped up in various shopping malls across the nation, and here in Sharjah also quite well-known destinations for you in terms of horror homes. Well, for the time being, we're quite late for the business news headlines, so we'll move on to that swiftly, and we'll continue the discussions here on the program on the Morning Majlis. If you'd like to get involved, if you'd like to be involved and would like to share your thoughts and opinions and your favorite haunted homes / excursions, do drop us a text on 4215. Majlis shall return right after the business headlines.
Stay fit. Stay fit. Stay fit.
Well, we got some sports news for you in the next couple of minutes. That's what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to start talking about cricket.
Yes.
Because the legendary Cricketers Benefit Fund series that put Sharjah on the global map is actually making a fresh start with the aim of developing young talent in the region.
Yes, of course. It's the revival of Sharjah Cricket Stadium and Sharjah Cricketers Benefit Fund series that put the Emirate on the global map when it came to the tournament. Now, Sharjah Cricket has reactivated the CBFS to give local players a chance to compete at a high level and gain the experience. 2-day test matches being played by the elite division as well as the under-19s. The regular playing opportunities for under-13s, under-15s and 17s will give local players the exposure at international level. Now, what they're looking at is to get the UAE the test status in the future. Now, the test status, that means is an international team can play those 5-day games and wearing those white kits and play, and it's all about the endurance. And that game, to get that status for the United Arab Emirates, is going to be a long road for sure, but that's the plan with this. So they're going to get that to start from the grassroots level, and it's all the dream of the Bukhatir family.
Yeah, and at the event announcing this, they played some footage showing how Sharjah cricket has evolved over the years, and attendants said they felt particularly nostalgic watching it. General Manager of Sharjah Cricket, Mazhar Khan, spoke about this, saying the first match at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium was played between Minadad and Ghazfar Gavaskar on a cement wicket in April 1981. And now the stadium holds the Guinness Book of World Records for hosting the most number of ODIs. He said it's been a long and wonderful journey, and this new initiative will be another feather in Sharjah's cap.
Not only that, but last night, Avritya Aravind was actually hoisted aloft by his teammates after guiding Sharjah to the Emirates D10 title with victory over Fujairah at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. The UAE wicketkeeper hit a sparkling 66 not out of 27 balls as the home side added the 10-over title to the one they won in the T20 version of the new national competition at the end of last year.
Yes, and of course, there's so much to look forward to. And looking back at the history, Sharjah Cricket Stadium has hosted the most number of ODIs, and since the 1980s, been hosting the Sharjah Cup, which was frequented by the teams from the subcontinent, mainly India and Pakistan. And such great contests have taken place at the stadium. It certainly holds a very nostalgic memory for all those who are fans of the sport. But just a quick wrap in terms of what to expect tonight. It's the Champions League is back. Liverpool will not be on a revenge mission tonight when they face Real Madrid, in the quarterfinals. The Reds were beaten 3-1 in the final in 2018. The last time they met Real in the competition.
Right?
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah. But Mo Salah was injured during that game, and that was so damaging and daunting to see, and he was really upset, and you could see that because it was going to affect his World Cup chances. But Mohamed Salah is going to be back in the Reds side, but what a game to witness today.
That's all right. History to be corrected. That's how Liverpool fans see it. That's going to be a big one to look out for as well. And looking at other major headlines in the world of sports, North Korea just made a pretty major announcement. They said they're not going to participate in the Tokyo Olympics this year, citing concerns about COVID-19. They say they want to protect their athletes from COVID-19. That's North Korea, the same country that said they do not have a confirmed case of COVID-19 within. So that's the decision they're going to be going with here.
That's sad. I was looking forward to the athletes taking part in it.
Oh, sure you were.
Well, so with that disappointing news, let's head off and let our audiences know where they can catch the podcast. Where can they catch it?
They can catch it on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify for the audio conversations. And for the video conversations, you can catch our faces on YouTube. Just type in Pulse 95 Radio and look for the Morning Majlis playlist. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.
Thank you all for tuning in to today's show. Joining us via the text lines. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned to Pulse 95.
I've got to wait 4 more years for Democratic People's Republic of Korea in the Olympics again.
Aww.
Well, stay with us on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse